Rick, how's it feel to get that, first win?
Well, anytime you get a win, it's big. But when we were coming off of a loss like we had last week, it was difficult. There's no doubt about it. We knew coming into this game, as big as they were up front, we were going to have some troubles trying to get some stops. But, that first drive, we had a couple chances and didn't make some plays, and we left it go and they score. But for us to fight, we had a couple possessions in a row where we really didn't move the football at all, but we kept them out of the end zone right after that on two possessions. And then about a third possession, we started to get moving a little bit. And, anytime you have a line that's as big as theirs and quarterback he can throw the football very well. For us to hold them to 14 points, we felt pretty happy as the defensive side. For us to finally come out and put some points on the board on the offensive side, it was also, obviously something we've been looking for. We haven't put points on the board the first 2 weeks, and it was important. I thought Noah, late in that game, especially that drive, they fumbled the ball going in for a score to tie the game or take the lead, and they fumble on the half-yard line. And for us to go to over 99 yards on that drive and get in the end zone, that was probably the biggest game changer, right there in that second half. So
it's hard to remember a drive that long.
Well, you can't get much longer.
Yeah.
It was to the point where we were inside the one, and for us to be able to get out of there and make some plays, and Noah ran the ball, but he ran the ball well, and he ran hard. He had a lot of contact early and was still able to extend those runs. But the offensive line did a much nicer job. This last 2 weeks, we struggled a little bit getting holes enough for him. And, you get him running downhill. He's tougher as he goes, later in the game, and that's something that, I think that showed today.
It was in the second quarter, I think you had 3 or 4 runs with Noah. It just seemed like things started to click all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was, and I don't know if it's, we finally started picking up some of their blitzes off the edge or from their middle backers, but, it was something that any good running back that also helps. You get beat up on the line of scrimmage all the game long, you're going to have a difficult time running the football. But he started getting those little bit of a hole, getting us 5 to 7 yard runs. Then they end up starting to get 10-yard runs, and he's a good back. I all the credit goes to him with his ability to run the football as hard as he did tonight.
What defensive adjustment did you make? It seemed like you were able to start.
I think we started going lower. You can't match up. They're too big to try to be tackling up at the chest to chest, 42, and you got, their quarterback as well. You have to go low when you're our size. We're just not big enough to match them head to head. So when we started getting a little lower, and it takes a toll on those guys too. They're big guys, so maybe they're, that wears them down a little bit more as well when you start getting down there where you need to tackle. Because we're not going to match anybody up chest to chest with most of our guys. So it's something that, I thought we did a better job. And again, we got a little bit of a breakdown there, though. He was held up chest to chest, and he broke that tackle. And when he was trying to get a little bit further, I think, on that run down near the goal line is when we popped it out on him. So, sometimes those, the more they stride and get that little extra yardage, sometimes that happens. And I think that's where we got lucky. And, to make that drive come back was key.
I want you to talk a little bit about Ray Lawson. The one-handed catch down here for the touchdown along the sideline was incredible. And he also had a great game as a defensive back to me.
Yeah, he did a nice job a couple times as well as they throw the ball. He got, a guy behind him once or twice, but he is quick enough and a good enough athlete that he's able to get back into play, even though it looks like, we're in trouble. But he finds a way to get back into the play, and deflected a couple, and then he had the big interception late to seal it for us. So, Ray is a very good athlete. He made some big plays for us, even just on our stay routes where he was out in the open and made some moves. He's a good athlete, and that's the thing. We have some of these guys. And Rondé is a great athlete, and you have Noah. So, and obviously Adam made some big catches early on and the touchdown, down there on that play. It was another big one to get us a 2 touchdown lead late in the game. He caught that out route. So, we have some weapons. The big thing is just taking care of the football, which we did tonight. And then the other thing is just getting some confidence. We finally got a little bit of confidence, running the football. And when you can run the football, it opens up some things otherwise too.
What could be a bigger confidence driver than that 99
Yeah,
yard drive?
yeah,
and
that's
that swing?
something. We talk about some plays here or there that change. You play 150 plays in a game, but there's usually 5 or 6 plays that you think about. Well, I told him that one was the whole drive because that was something that wasn't 1 or 2 plays to get out of that hole, but that whole drive was 99 yards, and that's something that changed that ball game. That and the fumble that we caused down there. So, there's few plays here or there that you really think back on to change the momentum, and those were a few of them.
Did you get who actually caused the fumble down
I
there?
I don't have a clue. I just knew the ball had popped out because I saw us all going, and then I saw our guys. I couldn't really see anything on that other side.
And I think Adam came out with it.
Did he? Okay.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
So you're going into Salzburg next week or against Salzburg next week. I'm not sure. Is that home or away?
No, it's at Salzburg. So it's that we're a team that they're thinking they definitely can match up with. So we're going to get everything they can handle. I'm sure. Coming off tonight's loss for them, they're definitely going to be trying to get that taste out of their mouth the last couple of weeks. So we know if there's one game they're coming ready to play, it's against Blairsville, and we have to match that intensity. And I think if tonight was a huge plus for us to at least have that confidence going into this game that we can find ways to win, and we beat a good team. I mean, they had Homer on the ropes for quite a while last week too. So I think you have Ligonier and you still have Homer and Northern, but after that I think there's a lot of us that could be right there in the mix, and I think that showed again tonight. I thought I heard Purchase Line was down to West Shamokin fairly late in the game. So I think there's 3 teams or so up at the very high end, and I thought Purchase Line was there as well the way we played, but we turned the ball over, and when you turn it over against anybody you're going to struggle. But I mean, we are a team that if we do the things we're capable of doing, we have enough athletes to be competitive in most of our games, that's for sure.